Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. Mike Conley has officially been traded to the Utah Jazz. This is like the team that I thought would probably be the best fit for him, and it's just such a nice move by the Jazz. Now, the trade that went down was here's the post. Man, you guys can see it, right? Memphis has traded guard Mike Conley to Utah for Grayson Allen, Kyle Korver, Jay Crowder, the 23rd pick in Thursday's draft, and a future first-round draft pick, which has not been announced yet. But this is definitely a next step move by Utah Jazz, while from the Grizzlies standpoint, it's definitely a rebuild move, because we know guys like, Kyle Korver and Jay Crowder are not really going to help the Memphis Grizzlies out next season. I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Korver retires, or maybe he gets his contract bought out, signs with a contender somewhere else. But of course, the draft pick will be nice for a rebuilding team. Grayson Allen, of course, that will be a decent pickup for them, because we don't know exactly what he's going to be yet. He'll get some opportunities over there, and plus the future first round draft pick. So what we're going to do now, guys, is hop over to NBA 2K, and we are going to kind of talk a little bit more about this, look at some stats and things along those lines. If you guys can do me a quick favor and drop a like on this video, bro, as soon as this video hits 1,000 likes, I will be dropping the official rebuild for the Mike Conley Utah Jazz, so be sure, guys, to drop that like on this one. Thank you all so much for that. Alright, so let's take a look at Mike Conley. How does he exactly fit into this team? Well, for one, he's somebody that is just going to be a beacon of consistency. He's going to go out there. He's going to make the smart plays, the smart moves, really whatever he needs to do to get some W's on this team. I feel like in pressured situations, Mike Conley can be the guy to take on that pressure, and that's going to help Donovan Mitchell become a more consistent player. I do think Mike Conley would be a great mentor towards Donovan Mitchell as, Mike Conley's career starts to come to an end, within a few seasons. Although he's only 31. He's not, like, extremely old or anything like that. But really what I'm excited for is the pick and roll possibilities with Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, because Conley is just great in the pick and roll situation. He just always makes the right read out there, so that's going to be nice. Now, they do lose a bit of floor spacing, though, by getting rid of Kyle Korver. Grayson Allen's a decent three-point shooter, and Jay Crowder, so they're going to need to go out there in free agency and do so. I know big talks was potentially Tobias Harris signing with this team. I don't know if that's going to be possible now due to the cap space that Mike Conley does take up. But last NBA season, just get an idea of what this guy can do exactly. 21 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, over 1 steal per game. About 2 turnovers, which is fine for a point guard. Shot 44% field goal percentage, 3-point shot about 36%, although, he's definitely known to be able to shoot around those high 30 range. So, shot 41% in the 2016-2017 season. I believe the 2017-2018 year he was injured, so his numbers are not looking all that great. But really, you can look at the numbers, and you could probably say, yeah, I can say this with full confidence. Last season was probably his best season of basketball. I mean, he shot 85% free throw. Minutes were definitely very high. There's 48 minutes in a basketball game. He played damn 34 of them, so we can definitely go out there and play a bit. Doesn't foul too much. As far as what he did last year, looking at some more of this, he's not going to go back and, he's not going to throw all shots back, but that's what Rudy Gobert's for, right? So, yeah, I'm very excited about this move. Played 70 games, so was able to stay healthy, which is a good sign. Only played 12 the season before. 10 double-doubles on the season, plus minus of 23, which is great. And, yeah, we got some more bitch-ass statistics stuff that I really don't care to talk about. So, yeah, man, I think that this definitely puts the Utah Jazz, like I was saying, they have a few moves they need to make. Derek Favors, I don't know if they made an announcement about him yet. I really hope they don't bring him back to this team. I would love if they were able to get Tobias Harris. I just don't know if financially if they're going to be able to. But just really going out there and signing a stretch four is exactly what they need. Like a Mirotic, somebody like that would be absolutely perfect. Very excited, though, for Mike Conley and the Utah Jazz. It's kind of the move that we've all been waiting to happen. We're like, okay, when exactly is this going to go down? We all knew it was going to be eventually. So, with that being said, they do lose on the 23rd draft pick, but this is a team where, a draft pick like that was probably not going to help them all that much anyway this season. They could definitely got to go in the route of getting some more veterans and kind of beefing up their bench a little bit. And they still got Dante Exum on the team. I mean, Dante Exum's only 23 years of age, so a guy like Mike Conley might be able to help him get to the next level. Now, as far as, Ricky Rubio, he's done. I mean, they said before that the Utah Jazz just stopped communicating with him, man. They were leaving him on red, as far as the DMs go and stuff like that. So, Ricky Rubio probably goes somewhere else. A good fit for Ricky Rubio. Trying to think of one off the top of my head. I mean, the Phoenix Suns, they need a point guard. I think Ricky Rubio would definitely be able to help that team out defensively and getting the ball to DeAndre Ayton. Realistically, maybe even a team like the Philadelphia 76ers, just because Ricky Rubio, not really a great three-point shooter. Shot 31% last season, 35 the year before, but somebody that you still gotta watch him a little bit, because unlike Ben Simmons, he's not afraid to at least put it up. So, a team like that might not be a bad route to go. But yeah, let's go over here and check out the Grizzlies and kind of see what this does for them exactly, man, because they lose a guy that has been with them this entire NBA career. I know it's probably sad for Grizzly fans to see that, but your guys' future is going to be in Ja Morant. I mean, he's going to be a beast. It would have been nice to see Mike Conley be able to mentor him, but I do think, you're paying Mike Conley $31 million. You can get a mentor for this man a lot cheaper than $31 million, right? So, yeah, as we all know, the draft did not go down yet, so Ja Morant's not the officially drafted guy out there, but Kyle Korver, like I said, I don't see him playing a game for the Memphis Grizzlies. I think he's probably just not going to be part of the team. Grayson Allen, I do think he gets some pretty good opportunities out here now, man. So that's going to be a lot of fun for him to watch. And, Jay Crowder, he'll probably be on the team. I really don't see all these guys getting bought out, so he'll probably just be a rotational player, which is okay. Kind of like a JaMychal Green, guy that goes out there, plays a little bit of defense, can shoot some three-pointers, do his thing. I mean, he's a veteran. He's a nice player, right? But the exciting part, of course, is the NBA draft. So we're going to go over here to prospect scouting, and we're going to go to the Draft Express big board. So, of course, these are some of the top guys that are going to get drafted. Ja Morant's going to go number 2. Let's see who's actually available around that 23rd pick, though, for this team. So you're looking at maybe like a Ty Jerome, Grant Williams, Isaiah Roby. You got P.J. Washington. Then, of course, some of these guys might fall. I mean, Bobo, I really don't see him dipping down that far. Nazarian Reed, maybe for a backup center would be nice. But, Jonas Valanciunas did decline his option, so there's no guarantee he's going to be back on the team. So they might want to go for somebody like that. I do like the idea of potentially them going for like a Rui Hachimura. Just a nice rookie, a nice small forward. They do have Dylan Brooks right now, but I think Dylan Brooks probably can just be a shooting guard, and that would be fine. So a lot of good potential down here. Romeo Langford, this guy has a very high ceiling, man. He could definitely be available around that 23rd pick. Nazir Little for a little bit of defense. It's going to be very interesting to see what this team does with the draft pick. So ultimately, what am I expecting for both of these teams next season? Well, like I was saying with the Utah Jazz, let me pull them up here again real quick. I do expect the Utah Jazz to, they're definitely going to be a playoff team. Don't get me wrong, man. I do think they need to go out there. They need to get their bench going a little bit better, and there's going to be opportunities for that. I think there'll be a ton of veterans that would love to play with this team. It's like, especially a stretch four. It's just the perfect situation where you got everybody else around you that can play defense. Joe Ingles, a great defender himself. Donovan Mitchell doing his thing. Mike Conley, a very good defender. Of course, you got defense player of the year, Rudy Gobert. So I do think they will be able to find that 4 out there. Just for the sake of the team, don't bring back Derek Favors. Derek Favors is a nice player. He's not a nice power forward. He should be a starting center on some other team or a backup center somewhere else. So that's about it for him there, man. But yeah, Utah Jazz, they were 50-32 last season. 50 wins is really good in the Western Conference. Does Mike Conley get them to be like, I would say, because 50 wins is already really good, which means that the ceiling for this team, as far as even contending for a championship, man, the possibility is there. Like, Donovan Mitchell will be going to his 3rd season. The possibility is definitely there. I could see them, if all goes well, being like a 53, 54 win team and being a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. I mean, the Golden State Warriors have injury issues. We don't know what some of these other teams are looking like. The Houston Rockets seem to be imploding themselves. So, the Utah Jazz, man, this might have been a potential championship contending move. I think Mike Conley is that good. I know a lot of people say I'm obsessed with him as a player. I am, man. I think Mike Conley is exactly what you want from your NBA point guard. Now, as far as the record goes for the Memphis Grizzlies, they were 33-49 last season. Like I said, this is the rebuild move. This team knows that they're not going to be contending, especially in the Western Conference next season. So, 33 wins. I expect them to go down even farther. They will probably be like a mid to high 20 win team. They just don't really have the talent out there anymore. You lose a guy like Mike Conley that had a career season for them, you're going to find a dip. And I'm sorry, man, Ja Morant, I do think is the real deal. But very rarely do point guards come out like that and they just become beasts right away. There's a few exceptions. You've got like the Derrick Roses of the world that are just exceptional right away. But yeah, Ja, I do think has that superstar potential. And it's going to be a good opportunity, man, because Ja seems to have that confidence where it's like, yo, I want to be the point guard. I want to go out there. I want to lead this team from the beginning. Maybe the Grizzlies management kind of thought that Mike Conley would have gotten in the way of that, and maybe Ja would kind of be like looking over his shoulder the entire time, being like, yo, this isn't really my team yet because Mike Conley's still around here. But I will say, Memphis Grizzlies fans, I feel for you guys. Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, Mike Conley, that NBA team is always going to have a place in my heart personally. I just remember they were always a team that they were always just consistently good. They would just go out there, they would get the W's, get to the playoffs. Never had extreme playoff success. It was always one of those things where it was good, but never good enough. And that's kind of the storyline of that Grizzlies era, man, where they were always great, just not great enough. Mike Conley, always a good point guard, always underrated, but never really good enough to quite make the All-Star team. I always think he should have got one, but he just never did, man. So, yes, Give me your guys' thoughts on this trade. Like I said, 1,000 likes. I will get you guys out that Utah Jazz rebuild as soon as possible. Just because that one, they don't have a draft pick, so I feel a little bit better about doing that. John Morant one, I might hold off until after the draft to make sure they officially get him, although I think they probably will. So yes, thank you all so much for watching. Mike Conley to the Utah Jazz. Picks to the Memphis Grizzlies. Damn, dude, the offseason has just begun. I'm hyped.